Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. All right. So now, what should happen? Welcome to episode 153 of Keeping It Real. I'm your host, jackkadis. Hopefully we're going to get some hellos from some special guests today. I'm looking at two you cannot see. I mean, an icy pop. Sending my brother Ike a selfie. They're going to a concert. I'm going to see if I can get all of them in.
And there he goes. He hasn't even changed yet. We're just going to get cookout from back. Yeah. The door's open at 7.
Oh my gosh, this is cold.
Can we get in line right now? Can we wait in line for 2 hours? Oh, get out of here.
I guess I'll eat some disgusting cookout that the president feeds us to keep us sitting on his life.
Alright. Cookout. You get the chicken strip sandwich, you get fries, and you get the chicken ranch wrap.
Cookout meal, Christian Jimenez, starting now. I get the big double steak style burger with cheese, no tomato, and if it's possible, a walking taco with cheese fries. If not a walking taco, I get double Cajun fries with 2 cookout sauces and a cheer wine. Not sponsored, not sponsored. And boom boom sauce.
2 quesadillas. 2 quesadillas. Fries. Honey mustard. Dr. Pepper.
I'm excited to try this out. Oh shit. No, please. No. No. It's sponsored by Jersey Mike's. Let's get that in focus. And Sony headphones. We bring the bang with Sony headphones. We bring the bang with. I'm Christian Jimenez, and we bring the bang with Sony headphones.
Honestly, I bought these headphones.
Honestly, I bought these headphones. I and love them so much. They've been great, and
then I'm so glad that they reached out for a sponsorship.
I'm so glad that they reached out for a sponsorship.
This is truly a product I love.
It's truly a product I love.
Repeat your order. We bring the bang, boom, and order. Go.
We bring the
Sony.
we bring the bang.
From the top, from the top, from the top.
No, you have to hold this.
Yes,
Starbucks. Hold it. It's. We don't
We
bring
bring the
Jersey
bang.
Mike's.
We bring the bang, the boom, and the bob. Sponsored by Christian Jimenez. Use the code down below.
Like, subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
This is episode 153.
This is episode 153 of Keeping It Real.
I'm Christian Jimenez.
I'm Christian Jimenez, and let's get our food.
Certified headphone of the divas.
Certified headphone. Of the divas.
What, say your cookout order one more time.
No.
No, let's go. Well, that was awesome. That's the best thing to happen to keeping it real in like in like weeks. That was awesome. Hold on. And we're live. Oh. And we're live. And we are live. And we're live. And we're live. And we're live. And we're live. And we are live. Don't have much to say. Ooh, I saw a good movie yesterday night. It was called came out in 2011 called, let's see if I can remember. This is like a brain exercise. It was one word, and it was about a teacher called, it was this is difficult. What was it called? It was called something along the lines of, one word, 2011. This movie is called, I really can't remember. I wonder if should I just cheat and look it up? Should I just cheat and look it up? Should I cheat and look it up? Should I just cheat? And that's not the right place for me to go. Let's see. Oh, that's the problem. I didn't actually watch it on. So what if I search like 2011 teacher movie? Detachment. So let's see what I can tell you about the movie Detachment. So there's this guy, right? Good dude, great dude, handsome guy. Matter of fact, it's why I ended up watching the movie. His character's name is Henry Barthez, a high school substitute teacher who becomes a role model to his students and others. I would like to know who this guy is because he's very handsome. Adrian Brody, I believe is his name. Yes, Adrian Brody, very handsome man. And Adrian Brody does play a gentleman called Henry. Henry has he seems to live in some city, and he's got, this job, and life is very dark, gray, and dull. He comes from a family where he found his mom overdosed on drugs when he was like 7 years old, and he always suspected his dad left, and it was just him, his mother, and her dad, his grandpa. And he always expected at some point during his mother's childhood, his grandfather did something to her. He never knew what, and he never asked, but it was always some sort of weird family dynamic where like she overdosed for a reason type of deal. And he's a sub, and the first scene of him in his classroom is very epic. There's a gentleman. He comes and he writes his name on the board, and then he says to the class, if you don't want to be here, leave, which is very like not by the books type of teaching and like very out there. And a girl in the back right of the class speaks up. And says like, some dude says like, shut up, dyke bitch, and just bullies her right away. And then, it says the same thing to the teacher or something. And our guy, Henry, is basically like, you are free to leave. And he gets up and he high fives his friends like, okay, I'll go to detention. That's dope. And he goes to the door and he's kind of like, where do you want me to go? And Henry says, just like closes the door on him. And then next up to act out, he says, I want all of you to write a paper, right? And then the next up to act out is this kid who doesn't have paper. And he's like, I don't have fucking paper, bitch. Like really like just screaming in the teachers, in our guys, he's just a substitute, right? Screaming in his face. And he goes all the way and squares up with him. And Henry stays firm. And he's kind of like, here's the deal. Okay, I can give you paper. But then you got to sit down and you got to write. And he kind of like calms the kid down and gets the kid to write. And on the way home, he is on the bus, and there is a prostitute sucking some dude's dick on the bus. I know this movie's crazy, but I loved it. I loved this movie. And she's giving this dude head on the bus, and she finishes, and then she's like, okay, pay me, and the guy doesn't pay her. And then the girl follows our main character, Henry, off the bus, and she's trying to get him to, she's trying to solicit, trying to give her body to this guy. And our guy, Henry, is like a good dude. And he's like, no chance, leave me the hell alone. And he goes and he does his classes the next day, comes back, and it's been a rough day for him. A really rough day. He goes and after school, he goes to see his grandfather, who's on his deathbed in a care unit at a hospital. And he, much like the parents come in and scream at the teachers, like, you're not giving my child what they need. It's your job. You got to be able to take care of them throughout the day. It's my child. I deal with them at home. You better be, all of that. Henry displays the same rage and the same anger and wrath towards the nurse at the front desk who is unable to assist and comfort Henry's grandfather. And, his grandfather has trouble. He thinks maybe his daughter is still alive. He gets Henry switched up with his daughter, all that sort of stuff. And he screams at this woman, and then he goes home, and he's like standing on the street, and he's just like, damn. And there's the girl, and he's like, why don't you just get away from me? And she doesn't get away from him. She comes closer, and then he kind of just like stands next to her, and she's like, can I get something to eat or something? And then he lets this girl, and she's a very young girl, way too young to be doing sex on the street. I'm talking like the same age as the kids that he teaches, like high school age. And he's like, okay, he brings her to his house, gives her a leftover sandwich and some orange juice. And then there's this one scene where for a second I thought everything was going to go way wrong and I was going to start to hate the movie. He goes and and like this whole time he brings her in and helps her to eat, and like you're just praying that he doesn't like try to have sex with her, right? Like, come on, Henry, you're a good guy, like praying that he doesn't do that. But he doesn't. But for a second, while she's eating and drinking, he's like, puts the food down and he like goes to touch her crotch, and you're like, no, don't do that. And she actually like swats his hand away, and she's like, oh, you got to pay first. And he doesn't even listen to her, and he gets down on his knees, and he kind of spreads her legs open, and she's got like blood on her inner thighs, and he's like, you can tell then that he's not gonna have sex with her. He's like, he's gonna take care of her. And he goes and he cleans her up, gives her fresh sheets, a towel to shower, and lets her spend the night at his place. The next morning, he wakes up before her for work, leaves her in his house. Bold move, Henry. Bold move. It's a very nothing to lose kind of guy, because I guess he has barely any furniture, barely anything valuable in his house. He just lets her stay there. Comes home from work, and she is sucking some dude off on his couch. So the first thing he does is he's like, pay her damn money. And the guy pays her, and he's like, get the fuck out. And the guy gets out, and he says, like, I don't care what you do, but not in my house or whatever. And the next morning, she makes him breakfast, and then they become like best friends and good partners. And like he gives her a place to call home, and is a person she can say is her family. And I guess maybe she gives him something to fix, something to do, something to help, And then we're kind of focusing more on school for a bit. And at school, it's just this really tricky movie, because the grandpa eventually dies, and our girl, young prostitute girl, is there for that because they called the house and she showed up. And that's tough. And there's this teacher at school that she's very pretty, and they talk, her and Henry, and the school's getting shut down because the test scores aren't up, and all the teachers are miserable, and it's like all gray, and it's just this tough thing. And he kind of has a breakdown in front of his class where he's just like, the world doesn't care about you, not good teaching. And then he's sort of like, has this lash out breakout after his grandfather dies, where he's like, the girl from the back left of her class who like had horrible parents and got bullied all the time, kind of just came to the teacher for reassurance, I guess. And she's trying to like hug him and like, do you like me? She asks him if he likes her. And that's a really gray area, and like he's very hesitant. He feels like he shouldn't like touch her, I guess. It's like a line, you should never touch students or something like that. But she just wants to she's trying to hug him, but he's like trying to push her away, and she's like, why are you trying to push me away? And then our teacher that kind of had a crush on him comes in, and she's like, what are you doing? And I think because he already was like feeling uncomfortable with the situation, like this shouldn't be happening, it looked worse than it was. And then the girl runs out crying, and then he just freaks out, and he starts like throwing chairs, slamming desks, like, you think I'm some kind of pervert? Like it's his last straw. He's like, you think I'm some kind of pervert? She needs help. I don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do? Like all this, and like screaming, and it's like violent flashes to like his parents and like bad stuff. And after that meltdown, he calls Child Protective Services and has this prostitute, a little girl, taken from his home. And then after that is like the final scenes of the movie where school's out, school's over, school's ending, and our bullied girl that, sat in the back right, bakes all these cupcakes. And our main character, Henry, tries to apologize to her. And she's like, it's okay, have a cupcake. But you can't have this one. This one's mine. And she just eats her cupcake. and it's obvious that she poisoned herself. There's lots of poison in the cupcake, and she killed herself. She killed herself in front of everybody, and that's really hard for him. But at the end of the day, he realizes that, it was good what he was doing for that girl he took off the street. And he was walking to the Child Protective Services place, and he found her, and she ran in and she gave him a big hug. And then at the very, very end, the teacher lady was there for him when he was crying. So, I liked that movie a lot. I've got a bike ride coming up at. I'd like to get there at 6:30. So my thinking is, what I'm probably going to do here is throw on a. What I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to probably watch some videos for the rest of this episode. And that's just kind of the reality of the matter. And then, for fuck's sake. Sorry the mic just cut out. I just dropped and unplugged the microphone in one fell swoop, and it was really embarrassing. But we shouldn't need the mic, so I'm not going to be talking probably for the rest of the video.
Showcased a lot of ridiculous portable lasers on this channel.
Ugh. I'm grabbing a popsicle. Be right back.
Good evening, Jack. My name is Nicole, and I'm calling you from Consumer Services. So I'm reaching out to you today because per our records, it looks like you still have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, and you've been making your monthly payments on time, right?
You are AI, and that's not true. Leave me alone. Ridiculous. Woo! So interesting. My friends are home.
Hurry. You gotta do surgery.
What are you guys doing back here?
I hope so. I wasn't too sure. Please. Yeah, this is yours.
I'm about to go to a concert. You know a concert?
In a bit.
I wonder if they filled me up. They gave me a draw.
You can borrow one of mine.
Oh, one.
One of mine unless you just roll it open.
Mm.
Okay. Stick to it.
Only we have been.
Bruh.
Oh, I guess so. Oh. Zippy.
Hey, can I get like a Todd? Oh, is that food?
Sauce.
Oh. Yo, Sam. Sam, let me get a French fry or something on the side. Let me get a.
Shot loaded up.
No way. I didn't even get fries.
Throw it to me, bro.
You don't want it.
I'm hungry.
Thank you, bro. So good. Cookout.
There's a folder in here. If you have magnum capabilities.
Thank you.
We live?
Yeah.
Are you singing that video up with that?
No. I should though, shouldn't I?
100.
But that's just like ripping off this guy's
Yeah.
stuff. I'm not gonna do that.
But you could credit him.
Yeah, but no way. No.
Alright.
I mean, I could say what video I'm watching, but like.
Yeah.
How much would be?
Okay.
I'll be honest.
Don't hurt.
Not like our apartment. This is hot. Did you bring the wine?
No, sir. What the fuck, dude? Are you serious? They gave me the salad burger.
A minute, 45 seconds left.
You're gonna love our pizza. 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 Yeah, that's all good, Robert.
All right, let's get going. Let's export this. I think I already did. 153. Peace.